none other than your king of the night, Vince about I'm EX Turk, and I'm not trying to wake folks up, so my voice is in a more ASMR type of style, but I've been wanting to make this Final Fantasy 15 theory so much that it's just hard to hold in. And what I'm actually saying is what I've been trying to hold in for a long ass time, and it's like I came up to the conclusion why you never see Idolus and Arden in the same room in Final Fantasy 15, and the only two scenes Idolus was ever in Final Fantasy 15. And what is that, you ask? What if Idolus Aldercrapt have already turned into a demon earlier in the game, but the human version of himself perished a long time ago? And on the throne with Ravis was not Idolus at all that knocked Ravis off the throne. It was actually Arden. Because remember, Arden could transform into anybody, as we've seen with Prompto, as we've seen with Noctis, as you've seen with everybody else. Arden has the power to transform himself to anybody else. And not just because he's a Mary Sue villain, he just has that power. He's always had that power because he's part Orban Bright and Lucius Kylian. And this is where the fan theory is going to go a little crazier. But I'm thinking that Idolus, the great emperor of Niflheim, fell. And maybe it would have to be after Kingsglaive, because in Kingsglaive, it was clearly Idolus Aldercrapt. And before Idolus was turned into a demon, he didn't really have that much power to begin with. And this is where it gets crazier. What if Idolus Aldercrapt was actually killed off in Final Fantasy 15, right after the events of Kingsglaive, because of a disagreement Arden and Idolus actually had with each other? Remember, they agreed with each other until it came to demons. Arden wanted to save the demons in Insomnia that Verstel worked so hard to work on, and Arden was going like a pitiful waste. So I'm pretty sure Idolus have caught that, but not until after the whole thing was over. After that, Arden would have killed Idolus, and then turned himself into until Arden turned himself into Idolus, which will also explain why, which I hope we get episode RNA, which will explain why, why Arnea said that the Niflheim Empire was strange, that she found them strange. One is from the fact that Ravis has supernatural strength in his prosthetic arm, even before turning into a demon. The chief scientist, well, he's actually quite nutty in the beginning, so that ain't really much of anything RNA comes to surprise. Idolus is infatuated in using demons for his military, and Idolus, as we see in Kingsglaive, didn't really like demons. In fact, he wanted to wipe them out. The only reason why Idolus went with Arden's plan is because Idolus thought it was the only way to save his people from the Star Scourge. His people were dying, suffering, and turning into demons with no medical care, no help, no nothing, And the real reason why Idolus wanted the Oracle, really, before trying to kill her, of course. Well, actually, that was Arden, but really, Idolus wanted to have the Oracle, and why he had Ravis under his team is because Idolus knew that Ravis is the older brother of Lunafreya. Lunafreya, being the Oracle, could use that gift to cure him and his people. Idolus was never an evil person. He just had to do what was necessary to save his own people and his own skin as well before the disease took over. Now Arden didn't kill Idolus fully off. Idolus was converted into a demon using his corpse to turn into a demon with Verstale, because he kept Verstale alive. As we see in episode Prompto, Verstale is still alive, even without Idolus giving orders. And then when that happened, after the Altician thing, Arden anticipated that Ravus Nox Fleury is going to come to Grollia to confront Idolus, thinking it's Idolus' fault. So Arden turned himself into Idolus. Not only that, but that purple blast that Idolus was using, Arden also uses that purple blast during episode Ignis. So, and if that's Arden's attack, not only that, he could summon demons from there. Not to say Niflheim does not have any control of the demons, but remember, Arden is the king of the demons in the Final Fantasy 15 world. Only he could summon any level of demons from will. Idolus never had that power. Even when Idolus agreed with using demons in their military, and they have used demons in their military, and they have used demons in their ranks, and created weapons with demons. I mean, they created even Omega Weapon, the most evilest and sinister demonic weapon of the empires ever, according to Gentiana. So Gentiana was spying on Niflheim and Grollia, because her actual home is close to Grollia, or at least her second personality, Shiva, was close. And because Gentiana's a ghost, she won't be able to be traced at all. So she has been spying on Niflheim's activities. So, even though Idolus was agreeing with using demons in their army, he didn't really like him, as we've seen in Kingsglaive. So this is where it gets pretty crazy. I think at the beginning of the Final Fantasy 15, in the throne room, Chapter 2 or Chapter 3, when you see Niflheim assemble, the reason why Lunafreya was to be killed, because Idolus wouldn't want that to happen. It's not because Voralus was taking over Idolus' mind. It's because Arden transformed himself to Idolus, and from working with Idolus for years and years, he would know every single thing and characteristics that Idolus would have. So he put in the order to kill the Oracle, which Ravus probably picked up that wasn't Idolus at all. Maybe he knew that Idolus in Chapter 13 was not really Idolus. Idolus has already been turned to a demon. And because of being turned to a demon, because being turned into a demon, already, Ravus is probably caught on. That's why he said that Noctis was the true king and not him, which infuriated Idolus, which means it infuriated Arden, because Arden said he was the true king when Ravus disagreed and said it was Noctis. Idolus lost his shit. And from what we know from Idolus Aldercrapt and Kingsglaive, which was the real one, we know Idolus pretty much is a calm and collected man. Even though he showed really a huge hatred for their enemy, the Lucis Kai King Regis, you still saw calm, kingly composure as what Idolus described. Meaning that was Arden, because only Arden would lose his shit over that stuff, because Arden wants to be the king. Arden thought he should have been the king. Arden thought he should have ascended. Nobody else. And he hates Noctis because the fact is, Noctis reminds him of all the previous kings that were chosen over him. And Arden hates that. Arden really hates that, because Arden thought he was more deserving. But he was branded a demon, Star Scourge, all that stuff happened to Arden. And Arden's so rotten that at the end of the Final Fantasy 15 game, at least to the final boss fight, we see Idolus' corpse hanging on the chain. Now, if that's supposed to be characters that Noctis cares about, why would he put Idolus? Idolus, even when he was alive, was enemies toward Noctis. In fact, the original Idolus would have had Noctis killed, if anything else. Or maybe Idolus secretly probably wanted to help Regis' son, figuring out that Arden is not to be trusted. Either way, it's because to show Noctis how much power he absolutely has, that the real Idolus was already turned to Feralis in the beginning of Final Fantasy 15, and that's why you see him scourging around in Gralia all over the place, because Feralis actually really wants to kill Arden. But Arden already turned himself into Idolus because of his transformation powers. You know, most of Niflheim's troops and stuff like that are confused, thinking that Arden is Idolus. So what I'm trying to say is, Idolus died in the beginning of the game, after Kingsglaive, after the feud they had after the Kingsglaive movie. And then Arden killed the Idolus, but kept his body and turned him into Feralis, while Arden turned himself in and out of Idolus to keep commanding the Empire. And this is how he would later on play Noctis, because that's why Idolus knew all the whereabouts of Noctis, because he's been playing Arden in front of Arden in front of Noctis and them, trying to help him out. But secretly he turns himself to Idolus to make the army go after Noctis, to halt Noctis' progress, only just to get Noctis stronger so he could become the Ascended King. And that's why, you know, Arden Idolus did everything in his power to make Ravus hate the Lucius Kind Kings, and to make him hold on to that hatred, because it's part of his plan to build a rival to help Noctis get stronger. Remember, he wants Noctis to become strong, because his ultimate goal is revenge. Even if Arden dies, Arden wants to get rid of the bloodline of Lucius Kylens, and that's why he accepted his fate willingly, because he wanted revenge, and that's all he lived for. So, my theory is that Idolus died in the beginning of the game, and the Idolus we see in Final Fantasy 15 was actually Arden Lucius Kylan. Tell me what you think about that theory. May the crystal be with you.